So when we come back, we're gonna talk about how African Americans, how Black Americans, Black folks can better their credit, how they can improve their credit, how they can improve their credit score so they can be able to obtain a nice townhouse, apartment, or home that they so desire. Right after this.
This duality, I am so different from whom I've been, and now I've been so tired of you trying to consume all the words that you choose, but I never had a chance to decide whether to ride somebody else.
What's up, YouTube? In case you guys are new to our channel, we're gonna first introduce ourselves. I'm gonna let the first lady introduce herself.
This is Tasha, of course.
Well, you know who I am. I mean, everybody around the world knows who I am.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, I'm Todd. So, again, if you're new to this channel, we talk about a lot of things, like finances, business-related topics, jobs. We talk about, we do like what? Pranks, jokes?
Pranks and, all that stuff, which we haven't done in a while, but,
Yeah.
You never know.
Skits and everything else too.
Mm-hmm.
The name of this video, you guys really want to stay tuned, but the title of this video is African Americans, How to Build Your Credit Up Quickly. And I'm gonna let you kind of explain that a little bit. Oh, but first, before you explain that, I just make sure I don't want to forget this. Make sure you guys drop your Cash App in the comment section because we give away cash on this channel. So don't forget, each time you comment, after your comment, just put your Cash App handle in there, and we're gonna randomly go through any of our videos. You can put your Cash App, but we're gonna randomly go through and select a winner or winners and send you cash.
And people were so excited about that, so
Yeah, they were really excited too. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Yes, absolutely. And once you get the cash, also, again, drop another comment. So, oh my gosh, guys, we are talking about this because for so long, and it's just continued cycle of African Americans always having a bad rap when it comes to credit, and rightfully so, as statistics have shown. Unfortunately, about 49%, almost 50-50, of African Americans have quote-unquote bad credit. Yes, exactly. So it's like, if you think about it, the banks are just like, yeah, it's like, flip a coin, they may get their money back as far as that's concerned.
Right.
That's how they look at us, Another statistic is basically, and you may think that it's because of income, and actually what a study has shown is that has nothing to do with it, because there was a study that was done where white Americans who made less than $25,000 were more likely to have high credit scores than African Americans who made $65,000 to $75,000. So it's just basically like a cycle of, again, really what it boils down to is miseducation when it comes to the Black community, African American community, or whatever you want to call it, when it comes to credit. That's less access as far as that's concerned to credit, because studies have shown too that although it's supposed to be unbiased, it's not unbiased. Race plays a factor in whether or not you get credit.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly. So we wanted to come on here and give you guys some value and help you out in terms of let's turn that around. It starts with education, starts with knowledge, and so that's where we are with that.
And like a lot of, everybody can kind of use these tips, but this is really geared towards Black Americans, African Americans, because a lot of us were not taught, growing up as far as about credit. And a lot of us, we had a chance to use credit maybe through our parents' credit cards, and we messed up, or whatever the case may be, we got yelled at instead of being educated on how you're actually supposed to use credit.
Exactly. Or it was like again, because of that lack of education or lack of knowledge about the credit, maybe you went to college and then you got all those free credit card offers and you're just like, yay, it's free money. And so you just basically went out, bought up some stuff, but you didn't realize that even if you pay the minimums only, that's not as good because of the interest. But also you may just think okay, just get cash withdrawals, don't really pay attention as far as your credit score, don't really pay attention as far as paying it back on time. So then you go to get a house or an apartment, and it's like you're kind of screwed as far as that's concerned.
So let's start, let's tell you guys what you need to know. We're going to tell you guys how you can get your credit taken care of because a lot of us have bad credit. So we're going to tell you what you need to do to like clean that credit up to, raise your credit scores up quickly. We're not experts, we're not professionals.
Right.
We're giving you advice, some of the things that we did too. So
Oh, but before you get to that, let's talk about just really quick what is considered a quote unquote what's bad credit. Okay, there's a scoring system, as you already know, and it's broken down to about 4 categories. Bad credit is anywhere from 300 to 629. Fair is anywhere from 630 to 689. Good is 690 to 719, and excellent is 720 to 850. So let's get to those tips as far as how we can boost our credit scores up high.
a lot of us, including myself at one point, you make mistakes as far as your credit, and then you just think, oh man, I just messed up, but it feels like it keeps getting worse and worse till it gets to the point where you're like, oh, I don't even care anymore.
Right.
It's bad. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm done. I'm toast. But the truth is that a lot of times it's easier than what you think it is, and your credit may not be as bad as what you think it is.
Yep.
So you need to pull your credit report. There's different sites you can go on. You can go to actually TransUnion or Experian, Equifax, or whatever, and you can get your free yearly credit report pulled.
Yep.
And check it out, go through and see what's going on there. So what you want to do, you want to look at the collections, see what collections you have on there, okay? And sit down, get a pen and paper. You want to add up all the collections accounts, whether it's 2, 3, 4, maybe it's 1, and just total how much you need to pay. So what you want to do, like, don't worry about trying to pay. If you have like 3, 4 collections accounts, don't worry about trying to pay everything at once. Okay, just go to one creditor at a time. Like if it's AT&T or someone, and you see, okay, well, I owe like $700. So what you do, you call them up. You just be real nice about it. I, see this on my credit report that I owe you guys $700 for my AT&T bill, and I just wonder how can I get this off of there. And they're gonna say, well, you owe $700 some. I'm like, hey, listen, ma'am, sir, I honestly don't have $700 right now. Is there like a, maybe a settlement or something that I can do? Like, can I get a discount or something? We can give it to you. We can you can take care of it for like 400, 500, or 300, whatever. They might cut it in half. Like, okay, well, is there a payment plan or something? So you get on the payment plan, and you set the payment plan what you can afford to pay each week or each month. They're gonna give you that option. And so you also, this is a key thing here. So after you pay it off, you want that off your report, especially depending on what it is, but you want to off your report, and especially if it's been on there for a while. So just like, I just want to pay for deletion, and just have it removed off my account, because sometimes there's certain things that's on your credit report that's maybe, been on there for a little bit. And even after you get it, paid off, it's still going to show that you were, defaulted on it. It's going to still show like some negative things, even though it may say paid. It's good to have some accounts that says paid, but there's some that you just probably want to just totally, get off of there. So let me give you guys a secret tip here. If you default, say like on a credit card or something, and within the first 2 years, you please make sure, you want to get it done ASAP,
Right.
but if you get it taken care of within the first 2 years, even like less than that, your credit score could go up, maybe like 25, 26, 27 points. If you get it done, within the first couple of years. Like newer, it just, again, depends on, the creditor, the car, whatever it is that you took out loan. Or if you get it done, the sooner you get it done, the more points your credit score will go up.
Exactly. And that's the name of the game, is getting the scores to go up. So what else can be a factor as far as your inaccuracies on your credit, which is exactly that. You want to make sure that you're looking for any errors. These are errors as far as your name, address, stuff that's on there that you don't even recognize, as far as like bills that you don't even owe, because sometimes that could be a signal of fraudulent activity. And you want to make sure that you take care of that by not disputing through the internet. No, do not dispute through the internet. You want to make sure that you write out the letters as far as those disputes, as far as that's concerned.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I know that you've done that.
Just type up a letter
Yep.
and send it in, because when you do it like via internet, it just basically they don't get it. I'll put it like that.
Yeah.
It's just a long story.
Yeah, so basically the reason that you want to do letter as far as that is because if you just do it via computer, it's just simply that a computer is going to go ahead, scan it. It's going to just not even barely look at it as far as that's concerned. And we saw this whole long drawn out thing, as Todd was stating or beginning to say, where basically the long story short, it's all computer generated. And if you do it through the computer, you're more likely not going to get any results. However, if you send in a letter through snail mail, make sure it's a certified letter, then you want to go ahead and do it that way. And of course, list in there, this is not mine. You maybe want to reference some of the laws as far as that's concerned, or whatever the case may be.
What's snail mail?
The regular mail. USPS, the postal service. Snail
Sorry.
mail. No one uses it anymore. We're so used to email. We call it snail mail because it takes forever now. We're so used to instant. But anyway, so you send it through the mail as far as that's concerned, certified. And you want to make sure that, again, you write in there specifically what it is, all the information that you got from the credit report itself, and say, hey, this is not mine, get rid of it, whatever the case may be. So by doing it that way, a person has to actually look at it and read it,
Right.
and then do an investigation as opposed to a computer.
Right.
So that's why you want to make sure that you take the time, write up those letters like you did back in the day, and do it that way.
Exactly. So let me tell you guys these other tips here. So when you're looking at your credit report and you see stuff on there, don't, go dispute stuff that you know full well is yours.
Exactly.
Because what's going to happen, you dispute it, you send in a letter, all they're going to do is reject it, and then they're going to restart. They're going to restart the clock on that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So if it was something that, you defaulted on a year ago, no, I'm sorry. If it was something you defaulted on like 5 years ago, then they're going to restart it, and it's just going to be like, oh, you just defaulted on it recently, and they're going to reset the clock. So it's going to seem like that instead of it being 5 years gone past, it's going to be like, okay, it's like a year that went by. So they're going to restart the whole clock, and then you're going to have to wait another 5-7 years or whatever
For it to drop off.
for it to drop off, because it takes 7 years for it to drop off. But if, again, you restart the clock, then it may take longer. But again, don't, like I said, don't dispute stuff that you know is yours. Make sure you go ahead and take care of that. And it was another tip that I was going to say, but I can't remember. But back to you.
So basically, another thing too is that, like Tom mentioned just a moment ago, as far as it's going to look like another credit account, but you also want to make sure that you pay attention to the inquiries on your credit report as well, because sometimes those are not accurate. You can also write in about those too, and just be mindful that if you are trying to obtain credit, make sure you're mindful in terms of whether or not it's going to be a soft inquiry or a hard inquiry. Hard inquiries are the ones that go on your credit report and can, maybe knock it down a few points.
It stays on it for 2 years.
And it stays on for 2 years, exactly. And, again, there's a whole, long, drawn-out thing as far as, having a proper credit mix as far as, accounts and inquiries and things of that nature and how they're weighted. And, we can, of course, talk about that in another video, whatever the case may be. But we're just talking about boosting it up right now.
So when you're looking at your credit report, take care of the collections first. Get all that first. Don't worry about all the charge-offs and things like that. You want to touch the stuff, because charge-off, a lot of times, basically that's what it is. They charge it off. You can't, especially, this is a key right here. Sorry for talking so fast. So this is a key here. You don't want to mess with collections that is super old, because again, it falls off after 7 years. So if it's like 5 years, leave it alone. It just, even if it's 4 years, depend on the situation. Like if you're trying to get an apartment or a house, and that apartments, the apartment management, mortgage people, loan people are going to look at that. You want to go ahead and just take care of it. Get it out the way and do the paper deletion thing. But normally when it's like 4, 5, 6, 7 years, you don't want to touch it. You want to leave it alone, because again, you'll restart that clock, what I was just kind of already saying too.
Right. And the clock, sometimes it's a 7-year clock where things fall off.
Right.
So last but not least, after you of course deal with your stuff, basically pay it off if it's yours, or of course get rid of it, then last but not least, you want to go ahead and obtain lines of credit Okay, you need to get some positive stuff on your credit report, and there's a few ways to do that. And I thought I was gonna just jump in there, but that's okay. Secure credit cards, as far as that's concerned, you want to make sure, like, okay, it's not no, not to say that you shouldn't apply for a regular credit card, but in this case, more than likely, if you have quote unquote bad credit, it's going to be challenging to get a regular credit card. So that's where secure credit cards come into play, as far as that's concerned. There are two that we wanted to showcase. I know Tyler's going to talk about the first one.
Yeah, the first one called Sky.
No,
Oh,
we're supposed to be in sync. I thought he was going to talk about Capital One first, and what you're familiar with.
Capital One, yeah, Capital One. That's a good card to start off with.
Yeah.
You know, it looks real good and it looks pretty on your credit report. So usually you can do like $200.
Yeah, actually, with Capital One, because it's a little bit different. I was looking at that. It used to be to where the minimum, I believe, it was like 200, but now it just depends on, again, your credit situation. You can put as little as $99 down. And again, meaning that sounds like you're making a payment on a car or something like that.
Right.
But $99, I should say, deposit. That does go toward your credit limit, and what'll happen is they'll basically go ahead and match it. So, for instance, you put $99 down, they may match it to, now you have a basically $200 credit limit.
Oh yeah.
As far as that's concerned. Or they may actually, match it, or not. They may overmatch it, so to speak, to where they give you 300, you put 99 down, so they kind of putting up more, whatever the case may be. So that being said, Capital One, because of their strength in the business, that's why, like Todd said, it does look really nice on your credit report, because again, they're such a strong company, longevity, they report on a regular basis. So yes, keep up with that, and it'll help you to build your credit. And then Open Sky is another.
Yeah, that's what it is. Open Sky is another good one too. So actually, Open Sky, you can select. The minimum is $200, but you can select. If you want to put 2, 3, 4, or 5, you can put as much as you want. But again, it looks good on your credit report. So the higher the credit limit, the better for you.
Mm-hmm.
And also, and she's gonna tell you as far as how to like make payments and everything on her. Like as far as the payment date. But let me tell you, and this is a key secret here, and I want you guys to listen to this. What you want to do, and especially if you know someone, or or your significant other, your husband and wife, they have good credit. You want to see if they'll let you be added as an authorized user.
Yep.
So if your credit score is like 5 something, and their credit score is maybe 700 to 800, so you want to see if they'll let you be added as an authorized user, and that way, so when that shows up in your report, that's gonna shoot your credit score up like a good 100 points. And I'm telling you, we know from experience, it'll shoot your credit up to like a good 100 points, or maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
And it all depends on how great that person's credit is too. So I believe the higher the credit score is, the better. The more higher your credit score will go up too. So that's a fast way for your credit score to be boosted up.
Yeah, definitely. And so not only the credit score or whatever the case may be that your spouse has, or it could be a parent, actually. It could be a family member, it could be a friend, whatever the case may be. Just be sure that it's someone that you trust as far as that's concerned, because if they don't make the payment, then make sure that you can make the payment. Otherwise, it'll have a reverse effect, and that's not what you're going for. You want to have it go up as far as your score. So here's a little tip that someone dropped on me that we're actually going to test out, and we encourage you to do so. This can boost help you boost your credit score up fast. So payments, okay? We already know it's super important to pay your bill on time. How about we try this? That someone told me that who has very excellent credit. She stated that pay your bill 10 days ahead of time, okay? 10 days ahead of time, and then make another payment 10 days after. So basically, to keep your credit score, to keep your balance low, you want to make sure that you're paying your credit cards off as much as possible. Less than 30% has been used.
Yeah.
So with that being said, if you're going to make that payment, say, as an example, it's $100 that you owe, okay? $50 10 days ahead, which is going to cover your minimum. $50 10 days ahead, and then 10 days after your bill is due, pay the other $50. So this has been proven by, my good friend who has a, pretty good credit score, buys houses and everything else, has helped her friends get homes. This can help boost your credit score up by a good, 10 points, just like that, minimum, by just paying the minimum payments. So if you pay more than that, we're going to test it out to see how much more that's going to help out as far as that's concerned. So,
wow. So you want to check out your credit score too. That's very important. We all know, or should know, that it's very important to know your credit score. So again, when you pull in your annual report, you want to check out your credit score. Now, let me tell you guys something. This whole credit score thing is so very confusing. Okay, so you have Credit Sesame, you have Credit Karma. It'll show you these scores. You look at these scores like, oh wow, okay, my score is kind of, not too bad, not too bad. Look like it's moving up. So then you'll see another scores from another service, and you're like, wait a minute, my score is like down 20 points, but it's 20 points higher here, 20 points over there. And then you look across the street, and it's 40 points below, and then around the corner, it's 100. It's really, really crazy. So you want to figure out when you go to apply for an apartment, townhome, a house, you want to figure out what are the lenders seeing. What credit score are they seeing? Because you have the FICO scores, you have the Vantage scores. Let me tell you that Credit Karma is good, and Credit Sesame and some of these other ones, they're pretty good. Some are okay. But let me tell you guys, a lot of those scores are just basically educational, what they call educational scores. Yeah. Meaning, it just kind of let you know, kind of like around where you stand. You might be kind of a little on the edge of maybe, 620 or kind of shooting below 540 or something like that. Right. It's just an educational type of thing, Majig. Now, but what big lenders mainly look at your FICO scores, and you want to go to myfico.com because they look at those scores. And now let me tell you, so you can go to myfico.com and your score may be like 620. But they may not see 620 by the time they pull your credit. They may see, 610, or they might even see 640. Because of course your credit score is fluctuating and the scores on my FICO is fluctuating, right. But it's more accurate. It's 90% used by big lenders, and that's kind of their go-to is looking at the FICO scores. There's so many different FICO scores, it's just really crazy. But to get more of an accurate, it's not 100% accurate again, but it's the closest you're gonna get. So go to myfico.com. And go ahead and put in your information, and there's a fee. I think there's like 3 tiers, whatever. And I think the tier number 3, probably the best one to get is the one that's like I think $39.99 a month or whatever. You can do a monthly, or you can do it annually and pay $600-$700 or however that goes and stuff too. So right. That's just tips for you and everything. But you want to stay on top of those scores because they're gonna look at it. And you don't want to just go in trying to get a house or an apartment. You're thinking, oh, my credit score is the bomb, blah, blah. But the real deal is that your credit score isn't what you thought it was too. And let me just also tell you guys too, if you have judgments, again, listen, if you have judgments, you will get denied for getting an apartment. You will get denied. You cannot get a house with a judgment on there. So if you have judgments, you want to see what you can do to get that taken care of. See if you can make some type of payment arrangements or whatever, but you want to get that because that stays in some states. It stays on as far as 7 years. Some states it stays on there 10 years. So that's it for this video. Sorry for the long video, but make sure you guys again subscribe, like, comment, share, drop your Cash App down below in the video. So anyway, never mind. Okay, attention.
He's corny. It's okay. The cash, you can drop us in cash so that you can put that towards paying off a bill on your credit.
Yeah, could you drop me some cash? And if you don't have Cash App, then the Cash App link is going to be down below. And if you sign up through my Cash App, we both get $5.
Okay, 5 big one. Thank you all so much for watching another video, and we'll be back with another one.
We are out of here.
Bye.